here, and today we are going to be discussing what should we expect for Road to Boruto. Now, what I mean by when we expect it, it's something that I think really should be part of the game. Now, previously when I last did a conversation video like this, it was my top 5 characters. But here we're going to talk about what Road to Boruto, aka Storm 4 Road to Boruto, should have in the game to make it alive again. So we're starting back from when Generations was now a thing. And in Generations, there were parenthesized on the characters, okay? And in Storm 4, they don't have that anymore. So when we're looking at Storm 4 and comparing it to the other generations of Bandai Namco's games of Storm itself, we notice that there is no longer a specific kind of tale of that character. Now, I mean, like, there's no in particular... There's no in particular way to tell which Sasuke is being used. There's no way to tell which Naruto is being used. Like, when we look at a person's record, we just see it as the name. We don't see their actual tale arc as to who they were at that time. So we don't know who they main. We don't know what they think we main. So that leaves a question mark as to, like, so which character are you using in particular? Because the Naruto people that I know, they like to use the Mashy Naruto, 5-Kage Summit, QB Link Naruto, and all that. But of course, there's always those few in the majority or minority who use 6-Paths Naruto, Sage Mode Naruto, Kurama Linked Naruto. Wait, is it Kurama Linked Naruto? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, now for Sasuke's, a lot of people in Storm 4 really like to use EMS Sasuke rather than trying to use other characters like 5-Kage Summit Sasuke, such as Taka Sasuke, aka the character I technically main in a way. And there's a whole bunch of confusion as to when we see the character's name, because we have in our minds, like, okay, he's got a Sasuke, and I see about 2 of those names in your most recent used characters, or your most frequently used good characters that you think are good for you in battle. And I'm looking at this like, okay, so I see 2 Narutos in your record, as in those are the 2 most recently used that you most likely are active with. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if there's 2 Narutos, there's most likely a chance that one of them is going to be the match. Now, when I think of this, immediately I'm going to think of a team that's going to counter that Naruto. Now, same thing with Sasuke. If I go into a lobby, I look at the person's record, and I happen to see 2 to 3 Sasuke's, okay? It is a rare occasion for me to find Sasuke's that are used 3 times in their record, okay? So, I would think again, okay, there's 3 Sasuke's on your character's record, and I'm gonna assume that you're most likely going to be using either EMS or Sasuke the last. Now, again, we don't know which kind of generation we're talking about here because, well, they don't show us the arc tale as to who they were then. And I think that would be an interesting thing to bring back, only because it brings out the whole situation as to what do we need to worry about. Now, another thing in Storm 4 that I think they kind of left out from Storm 3 is the Chakra Dash being fast, okay? Me, I like to be fast. I'm a styler. So, I'd like to play fancy, I'd like to be fast, I'd like to do all these things. I just feel like if Storm 4 was really a mix of what people quote-unquote as Storm 3 mixed with Revolution, then Storm 3 would most likely would have had the adaptability of quick chakra dashing in the air. And I just feel like if there isn't anything in particular that you can't avoid, then there shouldn't be a reason why the chakra dash has to be nullified. Now, I know a lot of people are like, but in Storm 3, the chakra dash system in the air was pretty quick, and it's a good thing that they numbed it down. But mainly, personally, I feel like that's one of the main things as to why Storm 4 is dead. Mainly because it doesn't provide a way to actually give pressure to your opponent's guard, or a way to try to counter the counter system, if you get what I'm trying to say. Of course, there's a way to counter the actual counter system itself, but I just feel like, to make it more simple, why not increase the chakra dash speed so that the opponent doesn't frequently use it consecutively as to how they normally would, just to give the vibe a little more of a chance. Like, if we don't get anything in particular new, mechanic-wise, we're not gonna be seeing Naruto Storm 4 living up to its expectations, despite Namco Bandai actually screwing us up with Road to Boruto, which I don't think is necessarily terrible, because in the end we're still getting 2, 3, 4, technically 5 characters, but one character is technically holding 3 slots in a way. But that's only like DLC exclusives of Boruto, because we know Boruto has the regular Rasengan Ultimate, we know that he gets his father's childhood clothes, and we know that he has the machine kind of equipment on him. So that's why I said 5, mainly because Boruto has a set of 3 as his character, like, showcase, I guess. Now, what they shouldn't bring back, okay, is Mecha Naruto. Mecha Naruto was not mentioned at all in after Revolution was gone from this world, okay? And bringing Mecha Naruto back, to me, who's been playing since Storm 2, I would make sure I do not see him ever touch my belongings, mainly because he is a machine who just loves to piss me off, okay? He loves to piss me off, and all you get to hear is him saying, Naruto Beam!
You cocksucker! You don't give a
shut the fuck up. Yeah, Mecha Naruto, big mistake on that part. Mainly because he was completely irrelevant. He was not talked about until the update came in, and I don't know why they actually bring him back. I think that's the stupidest thing they ever done in their life. Now, another thing that they need to work on, personally, is the way people rage quit, okay? So, me and my friend Kiramaki, okay, we had a bit of a discussion of what kind of penalty should the community itself or the gamer designers do to a person who, after a while, rage quits and should be penalized for it, which I absolutely agree. There should be a limit as to how many times a person will rage quit, because that's not fair for us. We're fighting to win. Obviously, everybody in a game is trying to win something, right? And if we don't win, and because somebody is being a freaking pussy and decides to rage quit, disconnect, aka, I just love it when people do that, because I just chuckle inside, and then I'm just like, I'll beat you again. Yeah, so me and my friend Kiramaki were thinking, if people were to rage quit consecutively, they're going to be penalized in a way where we feel like you're going to be removed from online mode for at least like an hour. Like, there's a time period as to how long you'll be suspended, I guess you could say, like, in a way. That may sound a little extreme, but I think it's only fair, mainly because we don't want to deal with sore losers, right? We don't want to deal with people who don't want to accept the L. Yet, meanwhile, we could take that L that we gained from them, and we could use that to our advantage to learn something. And as opposed to when we beat somebody up and they get the L, they get all salty, and we gotta put a little pepper on them just so they could calm down, and eventually it just gets carried away. Because people think that just because Storm 4 gives you a countdown before they penalize one of your rage quits doesn't mean that we won't figure out that you consecutively rage quit despite what your record says. So you could be somebody obviously with 255 disconnection frequency, and we know that you're a coward, technically. It's not fair to us. We don't want to fight a coward. We want to fight people who enjoy the game. We want to fight people who accept L's. We don't want to deal with those kind of people. And personally, I agreed with Kiramaki with the idea of if they consecutively get to fold themselves and then they begin to rage quit or leave the session and don't give us our BP, they should be penalized with a temporary suspension of online mode. Or you can't have ranked. You could do player match, you could do endless, you could do league, tournament, but for an extended period of time, I feel like people shouldn't be on rank as a punishment, as a way for them to understand that they need to accept an L to gain experience from it. But anyways, guys, this is Akame Sharingan HD. I hope you guys enjoyed my discussion as to what I expect from Road to Boruto, aka Storm 4 Road to Boruto. And this is another just hypothetical speaking of as to what could be in the game. Now, I know the last part I said wasn't really going to be involved, but I just feel like that's just a way to make people learn how to accept the L. But anyways, guys, this is Akame Sharingan HD. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye.